How's it going, everybody? My name is Trypps, and today we're going to be taking a look at a custom game. So, on Wednesday, I believe, the Dota 2 Reborn client was launched. It is in beta, so a lot of things aren't perfect, but what the client actually updated was the tutorial, some of the aesthetics in the game, Dota 2 TV, and actually the functionality to put Dota 2 custom games in the actual game. They've had the ability to create these custom games for a long time, but not actually in the client. They haven't been able to have the custom game lobbies, so it'll throw you in with other players who want to play that custom game, and all you have to do is install the custom game and then jump into a lobby, and they actually have like a lobby list and stuff. They've had things like D2ware and some other websites where they will put in the information for you and connect you through their own servers and stuff like that, but after a few client updates there was some issues, and I believe that got phased out basically. So this is actually Valve putting the time in, not some random people in the community who made a website. This is actually Valve doing this. So this is Overthrow. This is sponsored by Valve, and there are 3 maps here. It is Forest Solo, Desert Duo, and then I believe it's Mines Trio or Mines Tri. And the only difference between the 3, besides obviously the aesthetic, is that you are on either solo, duo teams, or on a team of 3. And there are less spawn points for items on the map, but the generic order of the map is just about the same. Obviously, the more people on your team, the smaller the map is going to be a little bit on the outskirts because of the less spawn points. And the basic concept of the game is you have to stand in the middle. As long as you are within the ring, you get a passive experience buff that gives you more experience, you level up, and yada yada. And then every so often, as you'll see, they're going to fly a golden chest out, and that chest contains an item. When that chest lands, it is going to knock everyone back from the chest so that you can't sit on top of the chest as well, although it is still easy to camp the chest a little bit, and you just gotta defend and get the chest. And inside the chest, it'll give you one item. That item is going to be based off of how well your team is doing. So if you are in last place, it is speculated that the item is going to be far superior than if you were in first place. And you can still buy items, you still have a well, you still have a tower right where you spawn so nobody can dive you like this guy tried to. And it's kind of just, like I said, King of the Hill mixed with it's like a deathmatch type deal, because the overall goal is to get to X number of kills depending on the map. Other than that, it's a weird meta. You got to try to figure out what is actually good, what is actually what scales well, but also can do decently well in the early game, or you hide in the early game, get a bunch of experience, and then come back as a carry later on.'t seen PLs, get stomped in the early game and then come back in the late game. So it does decently well, but there's also a functionality of whoever is in first place, or whatever team, if you're in one of the team ones, if you kill them, you get a 500 gold bonus. So that's incentive to go after the person in first place. The only problem here is that sometimes when you go for a kill, let's say you're dueling some guy, and you almost die and then you get the kill, sweet. In a normal game, if there was no one else around, you might have got that kill and then gotten away scot-free. Whereas this, it could be 4 people that are not on a team, and it's kind of just go after who's either the king, because they're going to give a bunch of gold, or you can go after whoever's the lowest health, because even if they get a kill and then you kill them, you didn't waste as many resources as they did, and then you can turn around and kill the third dude. And it's just like this kind of, whoever's the weakest will go after him, or whoever's the strongest, everybody around that strongest person goes after that. So it's a weird functionality, because sometimes like this I played Bounty Hunter and you can just hide and soak up experience for a long time, and then when you feel the time is necessary, you just steal a kill, and then you can get away as long as the other team doesn't have dust or sentries, because you can buy consumables, you can get those things if you need to hunt stealth characters. So I think there are a few items that they took out, like I don't think they have Dagon, and I actually saw after a couple times in updates that they took out a few heroes. So the only problem though with the actual game, the custom games in general, is that there's some problems getting the matchmaking going, because there's a lot of AFK hosts, and from what I read on Reddit, they are just invisible lobbies or invisible hosts. Those people aren't there anymore. They could be. I mean, it's likely that they're there, but they're not, you know, at their computer, or they all tabbed out. But also there might be these weird ghost lobbies where people get kicked out of a game and then the lobby just still exists for some reason. But at least for day 1, day 2, I'd probably say the first week before, you know, a lot of the stuff gets patched out, it's going to be a little tough getting in anything other than Overthrow. I've tried skill shots. That one took me a little bit. And then other than that, I wasn't able to actually get a game of anything else. You might be able to get something more popular, you know, like Pudge Wars or something like that. But because Overthrow is produced by Valve, I think it was polished a little bit better. So I think when you actually load into the game and get all the assets ready, I think it's a little bit more well put together. But other than that, it's a weird peer-to-peer transfer system, so that's why it's a weird connection issue. You're actually connecting to the host's internet, so if the host doesn't have good internet, you're going to be kind of screwed. But in the game type overall, it's fun. It's a nice cooldown from the regular game. So if you have, you know, a few bad games, or if you're just winded down for the night after a couple games, it's fun. It's nice to just blow off steam, and I know a lot of people are just coming for the custom games, and some people are just looking for like the solo games too, like just like tower defense type games. Those are going to be fun, and I really do look forward to some of the custom games that they're going to come out with. But other than that, guys, I encourage you to check me out on my stream. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.